Hey, it's Graydon here with Forever Booked, and right now I'm sitting in front of the fireplace at my parents' place in Lindsay, Ontario, Canada. It's the holidays, and if you're watching this during the holidays, you're probably starting to think what you want to do for this coming year, 2023. So I wanted to make this video just to share with you my whole process for planning out the year. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and over these years, I've really developed a process that I like to use to get massive clarity on what I'm going to do the year ahead. And this doesn't really relate to med spas very much, but this is just something that's helped me, so I want to share with you as well. So part 0 of this process is to eliminate and organize. And this is really crucial because it's very difficult to get clarity on something unless you've first eliminated everything that you don't need, everything that's cluttering up your brain. So the first thing I like to do is clean up my physical space. You want to clean up your apartment, you want to clean up your room, you want to clean up your office. If you have anything that you've been sort of holding on to that you don't need, throw it out, give it away, just get a really clean physical working space. After that, you want to clean up your digital space. So you should clean up the desktop on your computer. You should clean up all your emails. You should unsubscribe to emails that you don't need. You should get on your phone, delete all the apps that you don't need on your phone, create folders on your phone, eliminate all the texts and emails, all those unread messages that are in the back of your mind thinking you need to respond to these messages. So clean up your digital space as well as your physical space. And the last thing you want to do is clean up your mental space. So ways you can do this is to forgive people if you've been holding any resentment for anyone within the past year. You want to take some time for yourself. You want to relax, you want to meditate, to get a massage, work out, go to the gym, whatever you need to do to really calm your mind. So that is the elimination and organization. You want to do that for your physical space, your digital space, and your mental space. And I call this part 1 because this is really where things start. After you eliminate everything, you want to start getting into the planning of your next year. So part 1 is reflection and analysis. You want to take stock of everything that's happened this previous year, everything that went well, everything that didn't go well, and do a complete sort of post-mortem of the entire year that just happened. Now, it's really helpful if you've been taking reflections every month throughout the year. I would suggest you do this for this coming year. You want to reflect on what's happened every month. So by the end of the year, you can go back and take all the most important lessons that you've learned and summarize it into 1 year. But if you haven't been doing that, just try to go back and remember everything that's happened in this past year. It can be helpful to go back even into your photos to see all the different things that have happened and try to take stock of, first of all, what went well, what didn't go well. You also want to take stock of any skills you've learned, any abilities or character traits that you've acquired that were positive, any bad habits that you've acquired, any bad beliefs that you've acquired, any positive environmental changes, negative environmental changes. You really want to take stock of all these different things, good and bad, that have happened during the year, and to get an objective view of what went well and what you need to work on for the coming year. So that's part 1 is reflection and analysis. Part 2 is to set your coordinates. And the reason why I call it coordinates is because there's this book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, in the way that a human mind is a goal-seeking organism. And in order for an organism to achieve a goal, it needs to have very specific instructions as to what that goal is. So if you think of a self-guiding missile, in order for it to hit its goal, it needs specific coordinates. Then once it has its coordinates, it can then use its feedback mechanism and its fins to adjust towards that. So if you think of a missile heading towards its goal, it kind of zigzags because every time it goes off course, it can use that negative feedback to correct course, and it kind of zigzags towards its target. If it doesn't have that target, it's never going to hit it. And it's the exact same thing for you, what you want to accomplish for this coming year. So by set coordinates, what we want to do is develop a very clear picture of where you want to be in your business and in your life 1 year from now. How much revenue do you want to make? How much profit do you want to make? How much money do you want to take home to pay yourself? What other things do you want to happen in your business besides just the revenue numbers? What do you want to improve in your business? What do you want to take away? What procedures do you want to offer? How many staff do you want? You really want to build out a full vision for exactly where you want your business to be in the coming year. And I like to separate the business and the personal side. So I create a very clear vision of where I want my business to be, and then a very clear vision of where I want my personal life to be as well. So that is step 2, to set the coordinates. Step 3 is to create your action plan. So you don't need to create an action plan for the entire year. I find that it's very difficult to project out what I'm going to be doing the 4th quarter of 2023. It's much easier to start with the next 3 months, the next quarter. So what you want to do is plan out an action plan for your 1st quarter for your business, and then an action plan for the 1st quarter for your personal side as well. So once you know what that vision is, you want to take a step back and reverse engineer what the things you need to do right now to start moving towards that goal of your ideal business and personal life in 1 year. And you don't have to be super exact, but if you go through the previous steps in this whole process, things are going to start to percolate and you're going to know what to do in the 1st quarter of the coming year. So write write those things out, business, personal, the first things that you need to be doing, start of the year, first quarter, to start moving towards your goals. So that's step 3. The fourth and final step is visualization. Now, this is something that I feel like a lot of people have tried this in the past, but it didn't really work very well for them, so they stopped doing it. I'm telling you now that it absolutely does work. You just need to follow the correct process. Now, what I recommend, the first thing to do is you want to take some time to write out a very detailed scene of where you want your life to be 1 year from now. Now, going back to that example of how a missile needs coordinates to actually hit its target, the brain's equivalent of coordinates is images. The brain thinks in images. The more vivid and vibrant you can make that image, the easier it is for your brain to lock on to its target, and it's going to make it that much easier for you to get to that goal, and it's going to build a lot of confidence and belief that you can get there. So to do that, the easiest way is to just write it out. So all the points that we took earlier of, how much money you want to be making, how much money you want to pay yourself, what you want your business and personal life to look like, you should write out a full 2 to 3 page description of exactly what you want your life to be like 1 year from now. Let's say it's January 2024. You should write it in first person as if it's already happened. Now, it may be a bit difficult. If you're not a writer, this may be kind of tough to get the words out. Just start writing. And if you're totally resistant to writing, there's this really cool tool called Chat GPT. It's an AI writing tool. It was just released like a month ago. And if you go to this website, you can write in a prompt and the AI will literally write out a complete description for you. So below this video, I'm actually going to write out a template that you can fill in for the prompt. Go to that tool and it will write out your ideal future for you. It's going to write out a nice couple paragraph description. Now, the reason why this step is so important, because writing the words and reading the words, it's going to allow your brain to create this vivid image of where you want to be. So once that's done, you then have the raw materials to start visualizing your ideal future. So every morning or every evening, you want to do it on the bookends of the day, not in the beginning because there's too many distractions. Take 10 to 20 minutes, sit down, take a couple deep breaths, calm your mind, and really picture that scene 1 year from now of your ideal business and your ideal life as a result of you getting after it for the entire year. Really picture the scene, feel the emotions. You want to take in any smells, sights, feelings. Really create that scene as vivid as you can in your mind. Once you've created that scene, you next want to visualize everything you're going to do to get there. So after you've visualized that ideal future, you then want to picture yourself getting up in the morning, performing your morning routine, doing really high leverage work activities, getting everything done, prioritizing, just doing everything you need to do to get to that goal. Most people know what they need to do. They just need to execute on it. So picture yourself every day doing what you need to do to get to that goal. And what I've found is that when I picture myself doing it, it creates this massive belief in my mind that not only am I going to achieve the goal, but it gives me confidence that I will do what is necessary to achieve it. So that is my process. Part 0 is to eliminate and organize. Part 1 is to reflect and analyze. Part 2 is to set your coordinates. Part 3 is to define your action plan. And part 4 is to write down your ideal future and start visualizing it to program your subconscious mind that this goal is top priority and you will accomplish it no matter what. Thank you.